iPad Air 2 looks exactly the same like the predecessor, the first Air. As you can see here, again, that aluminum backside, very classy, very great, but not new. Yes, it's a little bit thinner now, 6.1 millimeters instead of 7.5, that's right. And it sounds less, but nevertheless, it's 18% thinner with that. And it's a little bit more lightweight, 437 grams instead of 469, making a difference of 7%. So if you grab it for the first time, you will see, oh yeah, that's lightweight and thinner, and you really feel that, especially if you hold your iPad a lot with just one hand. It's a little bit easier, of course, so you're not dropping not that quickly if you're holding it for longer times with just one hand. So that's definitely an advantage. Second point, and that's why I do not start the display, is that Apple is saying the display is less glossy, 56% less reflection, Apple is telling me, but nevertheless, I do not find that very fortunate, because the problem is you have that glossy glass on the front side. So we're talking about differences I do not see in real life, especially if I'm starting here. Now the display going to the reflections, it's really hard to see. And now imagine if you're outside in the bright sunlight, I do not find that a big difference. So let's not talk about that. Next difference, yeah, of course, you have now that fingerprint reader, Touch ID below the mechanical home button here. I'm not quite sure how many users really use that in real day life. Here are the facts. And backside camera now making photos with 8 megapixels instead of 5. Videos still full HD. Front side camera exactly the same. Videos in 720p and 1.2 megapixels photo resolution. Here we are. Now it's 4G with up to 300 megabit per second. Double the speed than before, and you have now Wi-Fi AC instead of Wi-Fi N. These are differences. And last of all, you have a new processor inside. It's the A8X instead of the A7 of the first one. A8 was in the iPhone 6, and now the A8X processor, meaning you have for the first time 3 cores, 1.5 gigahertz clock rate, and first time ever for Apple in a mobile device, 2 gigabyte of RAM instead of just 1. So Apple is talking about 40%, that's the Air 2 quicker than the predecessor. So that's nothing I can feel here, because opening the apps and scrolling through the through charts or whatever, it has always been that way. But I'm quite sure if you're using a lot apps like in multitasking, or some apps that really use games, for example, graphic games, really use a powerful processor, then of course the Air 2 is an advantage. And last thing, you have now, of course, more memory, 16, 64, and 128 gigabyte. Internal memory is net memory, because you do not have any slot for SD cards like always with Apple, and you cannot insert some USB sticks or whatever. So same problem like always. So you really rely on your internal memory. So on the predecessor we have had 16 and 32 only. So this is a big advantage, of course, 64, 128 gigabyte memory. But it has its prices. Here in Germany, Europe, it's 100 more than on the first iPad Air. So we're talking about 489, 589, 689 euros without any contract for the basic version with Wi-Fi only. So 120 euros more if you want to have the 4G version. So that's $100 more than on the predecessor. That's something you should really think about if you need that for having that. Nope, for having that new processor and that a little bit more power and a little bit lightweight and a little bit thinner. It's the mother of all tablets, and it's really a good feeling having it in your palm, a really great build quality and everything, but you have to pay for it, of course, like it was always with the iPads. Yeah. I hope I could help you a little bit with your decisions presenting you the iPad Air 2. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.